In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the Arabian Peninsula lies the Rub al-Khali, the empty quarter, a sea of sand that has swallowed secrets for millennia. For centuries, it held the legend of a lost city, a place of fabulous wealth and grandeur known as Ubar. This legendary city was often called the Atlantis of the Sands, a name that whispered of a magnificent civilization vanished from the face of the earth. Ancient tales described it as a hub of the lucrative frankincense trade, a vital artery of commerce in the ancient world. The city's story was a potent mix of historical rumor and mythic warning, a cautionary tale passed down through generations. It was mentioned in the Quran as Iram of the Pillars, a city of lofty towers built by the tribe of Ad. The people of Ad were said to have been giants, their power and arrogance matched only by the splendor of their city. Their wealth was beyond measure, derived from the fragrant resin that was more valuable than gold. Frankincense, harvested from the gnarled trees of southern Arabia, was a commodity coveted by empires. It was burned in the temples of Rome, used in the burial rites of Egyptian pharaohs, and prescribed as medicine by Greek physicians. Ubar stood at the crossroads of this ancient global economy, a fortified oasis and trading post that controlled the flow of this precious substance. From its gates, immense caravans would depart, beginning the perilous journey north towards the great civilizations of Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. These caravans were colossal undertakings, sometimes consisting of thousands of camels, stretching for miles across the desert. The journey was fraught with danger, from scorching heat and sandstorms to attacks by desert marauders. Yet the rewards were so great that the trade flourished for centuries, and Ubar grew ever richer. The city itself was said to be a paradise in the desert, a testament to the ingenuity and power of its builders. Legends spoke of magnificent palaces, adorned with precious metals and gemstones. Lofty pillars and towers reached towards the heavens, visible for miles across the flat desert landscape. Fountains and lush gardens bloomed in the city center, a stark contrast to the arid wasteland that surrounded it. It was a cosmopolitan metropolis, where traders from distant lands like Persia, India, and the Roman Empire mingled in the bustling souks. The air would have been thick with the scent of spices, perfumes, and the ever-present aroma of frankincense. The sounds of a dozen different languages would have filled the streets, a testament to its global importance. But according to the legends, this prosperity bred a deep and fatal arrogance. The people of Ubar became decadent and corrupt, turning away from their faith and indulging in wickedness. They ignored the warnings of the prophet Hud, who was sent to guide them back to righteousness. Hud cautioned them against their pride and their worship of idols, reminding them of the power of the one true God. The people of Ubar laughed at his warnings, their wealth having made them feel invincible. They challenged the prophet to bring forth the divine punishment he spoke of, so confident were they in their own strength. And so, divine wrath fell upon the city. A furious storm, a sandstorm of unimaginable violence, was unleashed upon Ubar. For days and nights, the wind howled, and the sands rose like a tidal wave. The very ground shook, and the magnificent towers and palaces crumbled into dust. The city and all its inhabitants were buried, swallowed whole by the desert, erased from existence as if they had never been. All that remained was the legend, a chilling story told around campfires for 2,000 years. For centuries, Ubar was nothing more than a ghost, a myth. Explorers and adventurers, from T.E. Lawrence to Bertram Thomas, searched for the lost city, but the shifting sands of the empty quarter guarded their secret well. The quest for Ubar seemed a fool's errand, the pursuit of a mirage. Then, in the late 20th century, a new generation of explorers took up the challenge, armed not with just courage and ancient texts, but with the tools of modern technology. The quest was spearheaded by Nicholas Clapp, an American documentary filmmaker and amateur archaeologist with a passion for lost legends. He was joined by the renowned British explorer, Sir Ranulph Fiennes, a man no stranger to extreme environments. Their team pored over ancient manuscripts and medieval maps, trying to piece together the location of the fabled city. They studied the writings of the 2nd century geographer Claudius Ptolemy, who had mapped the region and mentioned a place called Omanum Emporium. But the real breakthrough came from an unlikely source: outer space. The team obtained remote sensing data from NASA's Challenger space shuttle. The shuttle was equipped with powerful imaging radar that could penetrate the dry sand of the desert. These radar images revealed what the naked eye could not see: the faint traces of ancient caravan routes, long buried beneath the dunes. These were the highways of the ancient frankincense trade, invisible for millennia. The tracks converged on a specific point in the desert of modern-day Oman. It was a tantalizing clue, a digital breadcrumb trail leading back through time. In 1991, Clapp and Fiennes mounted an expedition to follow these ghostly tracks on the ground. They drove deep into the desolate and forbidding landscape of the Rub al-Khali. The journey was arduous, a modern-day echo of the ancient caravans they were tracking. After weeks of searching, they arrived at the point of convergence indicated by the NASA data. There, near a sparse watering hole known as Shisar, they found it. At first, it didn't look like much, just a large, shallow depression in the sand. But as they began to excavate, the truth was revealed. They uncovered the ruins of a large fortress. Its walls and towers collapsed inwards. The structure was an octagon, with tall towers at each corner, matching the ancient descriptions of Iram's pillars. The archaeological evidence was overwhelming. Pottery shards from Rome, Greece, Persia, and India confirmed the site's history as a major trading center. The team had found a nexus of ancient world trade, exactly as the legends of Ubar had described. But they also discovered the scientific reason for the city's sudden demise. Ubar had been built atop a massive underground limestone cavern. The city's well, its lifeblood, drew water from a vast subterranean aquifer within this cavern. Over centuries, the inhabitants drew so much water that the cavern's roof, deprived of its hydraulic support, grew weak. The weight of the city's fortress and towers became too much for the hollow ground beneath. Eventually, the cavern roof gave way in a catastrophic collapse. A massive sinkhole opened up, and the central part of the fortress, along with those inside it, plunged into the earth. This sudden, terrifying geological event was undoubtedly the source of the legend of a divine punishment. The city wasn't swallowed by sand in a storm, but by the very ground it was built upon. The discovery of Ubar was a landmark achievement, a moment where myth and science converged. It proved that the fabled Atlantis of the sands was not just a story, but a real place with a dramatic history. The site at Shisar, now recognized as the historical Ubar, was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2000. It is part of a collection of sites in Oman known as the Land of Frankincense. Today, visitors can see the excavated ruins and imagine the city's former glory. The story of Ubar is a powerful reminder of the fragility of civilization. It speaks of the dangers of pride and the finite nature of resources. It also stands as a testament to human curiosity and the relentless drive to uncover the secrets of the past. The rediscovery of Ubar demonstrated how ancient wisdom, preserved in texts and legends, can be unlocked by modern innovation. It connected the world of Ptolemy's maps with the perspective of a space shuttle. The legend of a city consumed by the desert for its sins became the story of a city that collapsed under its own weight after draining its most precious resource. The tale of Iram of the Pillars, once a myth, is now a documented chapter in the history of Arabia. The ghosts of the frankincense traders can finally rest, their lost capital found at last. The sands of the empty quarter had given up one of their most enduring secrets. The Atlantis of the sands had been rediscovered, not by a dreamer, but by scientists and explorers who dared to look at the ancient world through a new lens. The journey to find Ubar was as epic as the city's own story. It was a quest that spanned continents and millennia. The city's rise was fueled by a fragrant resin. Its fall was caused by a thirst for water. Its legend was preserved in sacred texts and folklore. Its rediscovery was made possible by looking down from the heavens. Ubar is a story of wealth, hubris, and collapse. It is a story of mystery, exploration, and discovery. It is a story written in sand, stone, and starlight. The name Ubar no longer just signifies a myth. It now represents a real place, a tangible link to a forgotten past. The towers may have fallen, but the story endures. The city's voice, silenced for nearly 2 millennia, now speaks again. It tells of a time when Arabia was a crossroads of the world. It warns of the consequences of unsustainable living. It celebrates the enduring power of human exploration. The discovery was a triumph of interdisciplinary research. It combined archaeology, history, geology, and space-age technology. Team success inspired a new generation of archaeologists. It showed that even the most persistent legends can have a basis in reality. The search for Ubar was a detective story on a grand scale. The clues were scattered across ancient texts and buried under sand. The detectives were a motley crew of scholars and adventurers. The crime scene was a vast and empty desert. The solution came from a flash of insight and a technological marvel. The story of Ubar is not just about a lost city. It is about our own relationship with the past. It shows how we can use technology to illuminate history. It reminds us that there are still secrets waiting to be found. The empty quarter is not so empty after all. It holds the memory of civilizations that rose and fell. Ubar is just one of those memories, brought back to life. The frankincense trade has long since faded. The camel caravans no longer cross the desert. But the story of Ubar remains, a fragrant echo from a distant time. It is a story of human ambition and its limits. It is a story of nature's power and our dependence on it. It is a story that will continue to be told for generations to come. The lost city is lost no more. Its pillars may be broken, but its legacy is intact. Ubar has taken its rightful place in the annals of history. The Atlantis of the sands has risen from its sandy grave. The legend has become reality. The search is over. The story is complete. But the lessons of Ubar are timeless. They are as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. We would do well to listen to its silent stones. They speak of a civilization that reached for the heavens and then vanished into the earth. A cautionary tale, indeed.